And we're already recording on the camera. All right.
Have we already started?
Yes. Do you want to... We should switch sides.
Okay.
Because I'm better at making more efficient use of this, so that... Yeah. All right.
Ugh.
Yes.
I hate cider.
Now, this is the part where I sort of sit back and let you fill the air.
Okay. I watch.
Oh, God.
It's so bad.
God, that's horrible.
I used to be addicted to cider.
What?
That was like the only alcoholic beverage that I would drink was cider, in like younger years. And then I discovered beer, much more bitter taste, which I liked.
Why did you just like cider?
Someone
This
called
is coming from somebody that basically just likes cider.
I heard a bartender call it alcoholic apple juice, and I pretty much lost all taste for it after that.
Just because of some guy?
It was a woman that said it.
Oh,
And also there is a guy.
Was she large?
No.
Interesting.
No.
You normally only listen to the large ones.
Do I? No.
No, you're controlled by the tiny ones.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, okay, so a lady said that, and then you just were like, "I'm not."
Well, I
doing
disliked
it
it.
anymore.
I disliked it. I think that's like a beginner kind of drink. That's like a segue into heavy drinking. I think. I don't even
It's
know.
a
to be
gateway
honest.
drink.
Yeah, because once you start drinking more, you realize you cannot drink those because they're full of sugar.
Yeah.
And then you fall asleep immediately. But it might be good. I don't know. When I was drinking those, I wasn't having like 13 of them. So
Yeah, maybe it's good to not drink a
Yeah.
shitload.
I was having like one or two or three, and then. But you know what I do? Like I would always grab the fucking tall boys.
Yeah.
Honestly, a really efficient way to get drunk. I don't know why it probably wouldn't work anymore, but I would drink one of those, maybe two, and I would just be fucked up for the night. I'd be good. Drinking that large amount in such a small time, like I remember I would chug them, and then I'd be like fine.
Exact. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I used to do that with Coronas. They had like the tall boy Coronas
Yeah.
at a Jewel Osco. I was thinking while you were saying that about ciders, nobody's ever really started with like a bad blackout story with like, anyway, so I drank a bunch of ciders.
Yeah, no.
And then I woke up in a
No.
ditch or something.
No, not at all. You don't drink. I don't even know how the fuck I got introduced to cider. It's really, I don't know who that drink is for. It's just not like good alcohol.
A lot of people don't like beer.
I love beer.
I don't love beer, but
You know who doesn't like beer? Black women. Black guys. It's a weird thing. It's
they like
okay.
Hennessy, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's dark liquors. But the thing is, black people
Dark
used to drink
liquors.
beer and like smoke cigarettes, but now it's not really a thing anymore. Like, I have a lot of friends that don't drink beer, but like my dad drinks beer.
You ever share a beer with your dad?
Of course, yeah, yeah. It's pretty much the only
Unbelievable.
we kind of bond that way. Is just kind of eating. I made a joke about this. It's just eating and drinking the same thing. We're like, let's take this to the living room. And then we just
Just pig out on Wendy's together?
Yeah. Dude, this Thanksgiving, my dad, he kept... Okay, I was sitting in the living room, and I heard my dad, like, lean over to my sister, and he was like, you know about misogyny? And then she was like, yeah, and he was like, it's not good.
Was he joking?
No, he's dead serious.
No way. At Thanksgiving dinner with your mom.
No. This was in the living room before the dinner was ready.
Oh, okay.
My sister was in there. She was introducing him to astrology. Which
Oh, my
at
God.
First
What is she doing?
At first, he was like, this is stupid as shit. And then, like, 10 minutes later, he came back and he was like, this kind of describes me. And
Oh, no!
And I was like, no. I was like, dude,
Dude.
the only reason you don't dislike this is because it doesn't say anything bad about you.
Exactly.
I was like, if this said you will traumatize your entire family, then you wouldn't like it.
You're a horrible
you know?
father.
Yeah. You'd be
Shit.
like, oh, no. Yeah, you just like it because it's like, oh, you're a,
That'd be
You're
crazy if he looked at
versatile.
his star chart and it was like, stop asking your son for money. He'd be like, fuck this, dude. This is such bullshit.
You're like, no. Yeah. He leaned over to my sister. He's like, you know about misogyny? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, it's not good. And I guess he just found out what the fucking word means. Because
That's
during
so funny. He's
during-
always been like, I've been trying to put my
Yeah,
finger on what that
this is.
term is.
Dude,
but it pisses me off.
Our Thanksgiving dinner, he's saying the prayer, and he's listing like a bunch of things, like he's rebuking a bunch of things, and he's like, rebuke the devilish spirit and temptation and bad people, and then he's like misogyny, and then
He snuck in misogyny with temptation.
Me and my brother both opened our eyes and looked at each other really, and then when we started eating, my brother was like, "Why do you keep bringing up misogyny?" He was like, "You know what that is?" And he was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Keep that away from us." And I was like, "Is this?" He's like,
Dude, that's such a crazy strategy to just, instead of being like sitting your kids down and be like, "I cheated on your mom," just be like, "Why would I not cheat on your mom? What am I, crazy?"
Oh man, yeah, that was fun. I fucking hate Thanksgiving though. I think it's the worst holiday.
Why is that? People either think it's the best or the worst.
I used to like it a lot until I don't know, dude. I
So
think
you became sentient,
meaning
so like self-aware.
no, it has nothing to do with kind of like the I know why a majority of people some people don't like Thanksgiving because like the indigenous reasoning and all
No,
that.
that's obviously, I didn't
Yeah.
think that was your
no,
gripe.
No,
No, I mean like.
I just get sad.
Yeah,
watching my mom
that's
work
where
all
Sam
day.
Bieber starts really caring, is the origins of Thanksgiving.
No.
No, I was saying like when you like gained a consciousness
Yeah, I kind of just well, I think
from the beginning.
it just does I didn't okay, so this Thanksgiving pretty much I just watched my mom cook for the entire family, massive portions for hours.
You didn't help out.
I helped out where I could, but she was doing, majority of
Yeah.
the heavy lifting. And then she didn't even eat anything at the end, and I was like, this holiday sucks for you.
Why didn't she eat anything?
She was just tired of that shit. By the time she got done, she was like, I don't even want to fucking eat. And
What?
yeah, I mean, it was my sister and my mom, and then it was just me, my dad, and my brother just in the living room, talking about stocks, and I
Oh God.
I was like, yeah, this holiday sucks for them. I mean, it's really good for my dad. Also, my dad didn't do anything, and then as soon as the turkey was ready, he was like, "Yo, someone get a picture of me cutting this thing." My mom was just standing there
Yeah, he's like, hey, since you just finished cooking this, can you just hold up? Yeah. Can you go portrait mode?
it's like, hold the camera real quick.
Yeah. Oh, that's really crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. To me, I just think it's dumb as shit to cook a fuck ton the entire day and then eat. I don't know.
No, it's a really good idea. You're just with people that are not executing well.
Yeah, probably.
Just very poor execution.
Yeah, I mean, we do the same thing every. I mean, but when you do Thanksgiving, did I mean, it's just two people cooking, right?
No, we always outsource our cooking.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Someone brings something.
We have a very nomadic family on Thanksgiving. We always go to somebody else's house. That's like a family friend. That's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
Or we go to 2 years ago we went hiking in New Hampshire
Okay.
at a lodge, and then it was like a Golden Corral Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
You just go around and fill your plate. It's nicer than a Golden Corral. What am I saying? A buffet style.
I think that's
And then you can eat as much as you fucking want. Oh, it's so amazing.
if we did. I have a friend that goes to what is it, Cape. What's the thing in Massachusetts?
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod. They go to Cape Cod every year, and it's
Nice.
that seems nice. They're not, I doubt that they're the ones cooking.
I should take you just to something that happens with my family, just so you can see how blissful it can be.
Yeah, it probably is really. I mean, it is just so chaotic. But I don't know. There is I do like my family a lot. I like the kind of vibe that we get. Yeah, it is fucked, but it is kind of fun, dude.
Yeah, clearly. Dude, your entire act is just your family, basically,
pretty
and
much.
how they've affected you.
Yeah, it essentially is just entirely family based. I'm convinced that if I lived at home, I'd have an hour just on my family. Because anytime, and I do think anybody could do this. I think if you just talk to your parents, you could come up with good stuff. Like I like genuinely like whenever I talk to my parents, I like ask them why they think a certain way, and every time it's like gold. You know, like they'll say something super ignorant, and I'll be like, wait, why though? And then they'll say something insane, and I'll be like, thank you.
You're just like a data collection
Yeah.
agency. Like, thank you for your response.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So, what was the last thing that you asked about?
Well,
Do you want to say what your mom said about?
oh yeah, yeah. So we were at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and my brother was pretty much just talking the entire time. And at one point, he said he was depressed. And my mom said, "Who gave it to you?" Like it was a cold, like a STD or something. And it's funny that they think.
I imagine her doing it in like an accusatory manner.
She
as well,
was
like,
yeah.
"Who gave it to you?"
Yeah, she was like, "Who gave it to you?" You know, and we were kind of like, and she was like quick to like blame one of his friends or something, and I'm like, you can't, like, it's not.
It's definitely Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not. I mean, it is kind of contagious, but it's not really. You know, like you don't hang out with someone that's depressed, and then you get like,
Wow.
you know, a bad case of depression. You know, it could be contagious, but it was very funny to watch her, you know, have that tone and be like, who was it? You know.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and also, dude, I remember my little cousin, who's 6 years old, when he was at the dinner table, he said he was having a heart attack, and he just said it just like that. We were like, "What's
Just
wrong?" Kid?"
casual.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm having a heart attack," and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And then he was like, and then I gave him my hand, and then he put it on his heart, and his heart was beating so fast, and I was like, and then my mom was like, all this attention on him isn't good. Just like nobody, she's like, nobody pay attention to him, and like he'll heal.
What?
And she pretty much was just like
So
ignoring.
you guys
him.
all just like looked around.
Yeah. Like that did solve the problem. Like we were kind of like, oh, he's still alive, you know, and nobody did anything after.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah, just ignore someone that's in pain.
I mean, chances are he's not having a heart attack if he's extremely calm about it.
Yeah, he was like, it was like, I was like, no, you're not. I don't think 6-year-olds can have heart attacks too. So.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny way for a 6-year-old to die. Imagining a 6-year-old dying of a heart attack, I'm imagining him like at a golf country club on the green with a bunch of geriatric, just like, oh,
Yeah.
my last putt. Just trying to close a business deal.
Yeah.
It's a very weird death to befall.
have.
Yeah.
I saw. I think I said this in the group chat. I saw my mom's boob the second day I was home.
You know what sucks is I saw my mom's boob on vacation too.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
How?
You're on a sailboat, man. She was putting on deodorant, and we were in the cockpit, and she just lifted out. And I was like, "Ah, what the fuck?" Yeah, but to be fair, they all saw me completely naked.
Wait, hold on. You got naked in front of your family?
Oh, dude. Yeah. And the problem is that I mentioned it on the podcast last week, and now guys are DMing me asking for me to send them ass pics. I keep escalating the stakes.
Wait, so like your mom, brother, they saw your junk?
No, not my junk. They just saw my ass.
Where was your junk at? How are you covering that?
Facing the other way.
Wow.
Facing toward the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then my mom, have you not seen the picture?
No.
Oh, dude. I can't. Second podcast.
Who's
in a
this
row.
photo, by the way, too?
That one?
Yeah.
It's Dan Donahue and then my friends from college.
Oh, okay. This is at the Laugh Factory.
Correct.
Okay. I was trying to figure out where that picture was from.
Yeah, Max made fun of me for hanging it.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
He was like, that's hilarious that means nothing to those people. And I was like, well, it's extremely depressing. See, look, isn't that a beautiful picture?
Oh, so this was just a photo.
Yeah.
Like you were like, just get this photo of me.
No, I didn't ask. My mom just took it.
Dude, ass cheeks, amazing.
Yeah.
You got a pretty good ass.
Thank you, dude.
It's really firm.
All right.
Firm.
Yo, you're making the guys at home.
And you don't have any love handles. I got, see, my body shape is like.
It's like inverse.
Yeah.
All right, let's stop. You're really examining this.
You could see his ball sack from the back. That's
so funny.
That's for your
You
boys.
can actually see his whole cock and balls
You
from
can see his cock and balls from the ass picture.
Yeah.
Woo.
Dude,
Wait.
this is a, what?
So you just decided? Was there like a breeze or something? Why did you? If
No,
it wasn't for a picture, you
we
just
went
decided to get
snorkeling.
naked.
We went snorkeling, and then when you're on a sailboat, there's not really a shower. There's a fucking pump shower in the bathroom, but we just had like a hose off the back, and I was like, I really need to shower,
Yeah.
so I did that, and I wasn't gonna do it with a bathing suit on. It's just ridiculous. It was pretty nice. Every single time you had to go to the bathroom, you just peed off the boat. And dude, I mean, I woke up at like
Would you have to shit?
huh?
You'd have to shit.
I mean, we had a toilet for that.
Wait, why would you?
But they were
peeing
like,
off the
don't
boat?
waste a flush on pee
Oh, okay, I see.
because you have a finite amount of water. But I slept on the cockpit in the cockpit every night, which means that I was just under the stars. I basically just lived outside for 4 days.
That's really nice.
And on the third night, I got up to go to the bathroom at night, full just sky of stars. You can see every single one. It looks like you're in a planetarium.
Yeah.
And then just like this silhouette of clouds and mountains, and then just surrounded by water.
Whoa.
And I vividly thought to myself, this is the greatest view I've ever had with my cock in my hand. It's pretty cool.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like that type of experience. I don't know. My mindset on traveling's always been like, oh, it's not permanent, so why do it? You know, like
What a horrible mindset.
it's so bad. I haven't seen shit.
I used to be the exact same way. I used to hate travel. I used to just be the opposite of everything I am now. But
Yeah.
I used to just like.
Flashbacks, dude.
You know what's crazy is that that's an African kid named Sam getting yelled at in
Yeah,
African.
Flashbacks.
Not in
dude.
African, but in whatever. The
Literally, I should go down there and just like.
like, I am you from the future.
Yeah. Just persevere, and you could be me.
Dude, him and so I have two neighbors. This is just context for the pod listeners who are all listening. But
Yeah.
so immediately downstairs, it's crazy that I have you Sam, African, and then downstairs I have like a 10-year-old neighbor who's a little boy named Sam.
Yeah.
And then below that there's a little kid named Pablo who's Mexican.
Yeah.
And the other day I came home from work and I heard like their door open, and they're always fucking with me and shit. I heard their door open and then like footsteps scurry, and I walked up my staircase and they were hiding behind the carpets that are out there in the tree, and Sam shot me with a Nerf gun, and then Pablo ran up screaming and stabbed me with a wooden knife.
Oh shit.
And I was like, oh my, I'm under attack.
That's so fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And then you know, we like I steal their Nerf dart, I throw it at Pablo, but headshot, by the way.
Yeah.
And then but because of that, like a couple days after that, I came home and I was so fucking high and I thought I heard steps. So dude, I literally was like 0 dark 30ing my like shimmying my way up the stairs.
You're just scared.
I was so scared, dude. I
Holy
literally was
shit.
like, if Pablo rushes me with a fucking knife right now, I'm gonna fucking pop. Just right in the throat.
Fuck.
It is fun though. It is fun.
It's so fun messing with kids, man.
Kids
saw,
are the best.
Yeah, I saw my little fucking. It's so fun to talk to them too, dude,
Wait.
and try to teach them and shit. Okay. Harry's running away. You sick fucks! I know you guys want to see feet. It's not happening.
Yeah, you guys are all sick fucks. Hey, I'm trying to get some real fans, not just you sick fucks. So
Dude, go fix yourself. Go to therapy or some shit, dude. Figure out your fucking
BetterHelp.com
problems, dude.
/post clarity.
Imagine if your fucking parents saw the shit you were sending these people, man. Chill out.
So it is gross, man.
Fucking great. Stop harassing people for feet pics, you fucking.
Stop harassing them.
You weirdos.
Yeah. Watch my subscriber count plummet.
Subscribe though, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, don't be a bitch though. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that notification bell. All right, so this is a portrait that a girl drew of me at,
that's
at
awesome.
the day camp that I was
Yeah.
doing. You can tell because it has the rowback hat.
This
But
is sick.
so I was sitting at a table with kids. I literally so I was doing this day camp. That was my work this week.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to get an hour break during the day, and we were just like basically sitting in this room. We were supposed to go outside, but it was too cold, so we just had to sit in this room, just me and the other counselors who are like my age too, the coaches, and just like 20 kids who are between the ages of 5 and 10, and we just had 2 hours to kill, and all the kids are just like, "What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?" and we just have to be like, we're staying here, and they're like, well, what are we doing? And we're like, just chill out. And then it got to a point where I was supposed to go on break, but one of the kids asked me at a table. It was just me, and then all these kids at this table, and I was just holding court. And this one kid was like, do you have a wife? And I was like, I have 7 wives. And they were like, what? And I was like, I'm Mormon. And they're like, what? And then one girl was like, how'd you meet wife number 4? And then I was like, motorcycle accident. Like, literally, dude, they asked about every single wife.
Yeah.
And I did an improv thing for every single one. And at one point, one of the other coaches came in and he was like, aren't you on break? And I was like, hang up. I met Emily. And I was like, that's wife. And then they're like, which one is that? I was like, that's number 5. And I literally was saying, I was saying the craziest thing. I was saying like, I met the second wife at the first wife's wedding because she was the sister of the third wife. Like it was, and then all these kids are like, you're so full of shit. And I was like, no. And then finally one of them was like, can you show us a picture of one of your wives? And I was like, I'll show you a picture of my favorite one. Showed him a picture of Caitlin Clark. and they all got so mad. They're like, that's not your wife. And I was like, who would know who's that? What is yeah,
you
it's pretty awesome.
Dua Lipa, and they're like, no.
God, Dua Lipa is such a fine, beautiful, ethereal, gorgeous, just, I mean, her voice is so velvety and her drive and ambition and her constant journey toward greatness is just so fucking sexy.
It's such a weird contrast. Like you like Dua Lipa and then Caitlin Clark.
No,
which are
what
like,
the fuck? What are you talking about? They're both great at their respective things.
So it's not an appearance thing?
I mean, Dua Lipa is, not even close to Caitlin, like physically. Dua Lipa can't drop a triple-double. What are you talking about?
Oh, my goodness. What about their, like, face?
Yeah.
That's such a fucked up thing to say.
No, obviously Dua Lipa is... You know what is so funny? Is that I'm legitimately afraid of admitting that I think Dua Lipa is physically more attractive to me than Caitlin Clark, because on the off chance that Caitlin Clark and I ever bump into each other,
you're
and
like,
she's
this is real.
And I'm like, I do love you. And she's like, well, on your podcast with
evidence.
Sam, you said that you thought Dua Lipa looked better than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I did say that.
Man.
So I don't know if I can say that.
No, you gotta be. I think that's a part
Dua
of.
Lipa is just.
I don't know though, dude. When I think about this,
she's so amazing.
I think about this all the time. I'm like, when people are like, you gotta just be willing. It's like a mature react. Like whenever someone's like, oh, like, you know, when people are like married and then they're like, it'll be like a fucking beat up old couple and the wife is just like getting hot over like some like celebrity guy, and you're like, oh, of course you're not supposed to get mad at that, you know?
No, of course not.
Yeah, I would still get mad.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I would, but I'm not like.
You wouldn't like if your lady had a big celebrity crush.
I think it's just because I don't do that shit. I don't like when people ask me who my celebrity crush. I really don't have one. And it's because it's because I fucking like bartenders and shit. Like I like just
I like every man.
I just my standard is like just not celebrity crush standard. I like looking for women in dingy places. So it's not
really putting a retarder on your fucking on your romantic hopes and dreams.
Yeah,
for no reason.
I remember when like
sky's the limit, Morcata.
But
when you're on Weekend Update, and you will be, you're gonna have these celebrity guests rolling in. Lorne, if you're watching this, and we know that you are, Weekend Update when Che and Jost are done, yeah, we can fill those shoes. They're gonna need 2 different races behind that desk. Let's be honest.
You got to replicate the black and the white combo.
You do. Combo. It's timeless.
It's undefeated.
We're gonna be the last.
It's peanut butter and jelly. That's what it is.
It's yeah, I was gonna say another combo. That's stupid. But what the fuck was I just saying?
Wait, hold on.
What's another?
I can think of another good combo.
It's like cider and it's like
morning sex and coffee. No, cigarette. Morning sex and a cigarette.
Sure.
You never done that?
No, I don't like morning sex. It's bad for you.
It's amazing, dude. I think you don't have the problem of being drugged up at night.
That's a joke, by the way. I love morning sex. Morning sex is the best sex, and I hate the morning.
Yeah.
Because sex is the greatest way to wake up ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
To wake up and the first thing that you do is have sex is the best way to start a day.
I
That is,
completely
I
agree.
feel like if more people had morning sex, the coffee stock, big coffee would plummet. I don't know much about stocks,
I
but
just hate I mean, sex at night's the last thing I want to. I kind of want to just fall asleep.
okay, I don't relate to that. I mean,
I mean, if I have it in me,
I
like,
think that
yeah,
you've
but
gotten to the point where your body is so disabled by your decisions in life that it doesn't want to do things that it should want
I
to
shouldn't want to
do.
do it. Yeah. I like when I wake up, I'm like, let's fucking go. But
We were outside talking about like being like sensual, and you were saying you don't like when people are sensual
no,
in
not
bed.
at all, dude. It pisses me off. I'm like,
That doesn't make any sense.
Be for real, dude.
But what if I'm a really sensual person?
No, dude. We're gonna talk right after this.
Yeah,
dude.
sensually.
Don't
I'm gonna
act like
stroke
it's a
your face.
No.
I'm gonna trace your eyebrow.
I
I'm
think
gonna
the
boop
word,
your
like,
nose.
I think it's
I'm gonna
so.
pick it.
I'm like, it's
eat
not
your
a. We're
booger.
not in a fucking movie, you know.
We are in a movie.
No, dude. Just fucking do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing, and then that's it.
Why does it have to be so brutish?
I just don't like being disingenuous. You know,
Disingenuous. But
disingenuous. Disingenuous is a word.
do you want to put money on that?
Oh yeah.
How much? $100?
Yeah. Well, no, not okay. Let's put $5 on it. Disingenuine. That's a word.
No, it's disingenuous.
That's also a word, but that's a word, right? No? Fuck. God damn it.
It should be. It's like yeah, it's not a word.
Is it not a word?
Yeah.
So,
You know how nonsensical is a word, but sensical is not? Doesn't that bother you? Doesn't that seem nonsensical?
Oh, it's ingenuine.
Sorry, man. $5.
I'll Venmo you.
You can take that out of the 95, or the 100. But what the fuck? We were talking about celebrity crushes before that. So I never used to have like I might make a supercut of every time I've talked about Caitlin Clark on the pod and put it
Yeah.
in one big video. But I never really because that's a very common question among people is like, who's your celebrity crush? It's like a fun, innocuous conversation starter,
Mm-hmm.
and I never really had a great answer before that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really nice to just know that who I want to marry.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people go throughout their lives very aimless, and they don't know because like who you marry.
Yeah.
My friends and I have talked about this. That's like one of the biggest. It's probably the single biggest decision that you'll ever make.
Yeah.
Is who you marry, because then past like
Yeah.
we spend the most time with friends now, but as soon as you marry and settle down with someone, that's the person you spend the most time with.
Having a kid.
And so to know
probably.
that is Caitlin Clark is very.
It is.
By the way, Kelsey hates how much I talk about Caitlin Clark.
Really? I
Well,
don't like. Okay. Well.
she doesn't hate that. She hates. I made a comparison. We were chugging a big boot of beer at this bar, and the whole thing was like, you can't put it down until you're done. And she was kind of not keeping pace with me and her friend who were drinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, Caitlin would finish that.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't like that you did that.
I don't either, dude. It's the same thing of what I just said about, like, imagine if she was constantly rambling about, like, Brad Pitt or someone. You'd be like, all right, you fucking idiot.
But Brad Pitt's not single-handedly revolutionizing.
I guess it's better. I've had women, like, constantly
You
talk
are right,
about
though.
someone that, like, is not famous. That's terrible when they're just like,
I don't talk about Caitlin that much.
yeah. I don't know. Being famous to me, I think it's really, like, when people are, like, famous, I'm like, it is kind of just, like,
Being famous
Like,
would suck.
it's kind of just like it's like high school. It's like being popular in high school.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, you should get some recognition if you have like generational talent, but like the blog culture and like the upkeep with people's lives and all that, I'm like, oh, it's so stupid. Like I think if, you should get paid a good amount for having like generational talent. You should get to do whatever, but I don't know. I just hate like blog culture and just keeping up with
Blog culture?
blog.
Blog?
Yeah.
blog culture.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
where
I'll
it's
go
like, why do you need to know about this person's life?
right, I'll go on Instagram and be like, oh, look at this what this person did for Thanksgiving, and it's like,
Yeah, it's like who gives
a
a fuck?
fuck? You know, it's like,
Yeah, unless it's like it's Caitlin Clark or something, or Dua Lipa.
well, people just decide to like
No, I know exactly.
give
it's just
up
like,
on their lives and then live through people through the like
and it's
social
very
media
sad.
blog.
And then they're constantly comparing their life to.
them, yeah.
Yeah,
And they're
it's like
trying
I'll
to just
never.
like,
Yeah, it's literally, dude. The Kardashians probably have changed how humans are shaped.
and then they just went right back because they got the best. They're skinny now, dude.
Really?
Yeah,
They're skinny again?
they're skinny now. Yeah,
This is news.
yeah.
Kim is skinny?
There's just a bunch of like,
Wait, does Kim
badly-
have a tiny ass
yeah.
now? Are you out of your mind?
I'm so serious. There's a bunch of badly built women out there now because of them, and they're just like back to
There is.
being regularly shaped. Because if you do those types of surgeries, you get like handicapped, like you get crippled. You know, that's not like healthy for your body.
Dude.
You know, it sucks.
My friend Quinn, shout out Quinn Stokes. The only thing he sends me on Instagram are videos of animals ripping each other apart, which I love. That's like him and I. That's like our thing. We said
Yeah.
insane nature is wild videos. But the other thing he sends to me are women who have had so much work done that they're not even a recognizable human anymore. It's like people with
Yeah.
asses that are so big that
Yeah.
it looks like they have two like exercise balls,
Oh fuck.
and it's just it's so horrible. I
That
genuinely
sucks
hate
'cause
it, and he's ruining my algo.
It's also like those people that do. I don't know if it's like a thing with like tattoos where like if you get one, you got to get like a bunch of stuff done. But like there's a bunch of celebrities that cannot stop getting surgeries. Like they just don't even recognize how fucking stupid they look. Like Michael Jackson had like fucking. Like,
he turned white,
I mean that I don't know.
very white.
I don't know what that was, but I do know his face. He had like over like 30 surgeries on his face. It might even be a higher number.
I'm pretty sure it's higher.
On his face, like that's insane.
Yeah,
His face was completely fine.
dude, he was a cute kid.
Yeah, and then he had so many surgeries on his face. I don't think these people understand that they look insane to just normal people.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I don't think they notice.
I mean, I think they're making it better.
Yeah,
He
and
played
it's-
but he did play the long game to just become white. Like people just didn't see. It was kind of like when Bruce Jenner was slowly transitioning to Caitlyn,
yeah,
and then like the final thing was like he got tits, and everybody was like, okay,
That
so
was-
you've completed it. But I remember
That was
just seeing
nuts.
like a tabloid that said he got his like Adam's apple removed or something, and that was like the
Who, Michael
canary in the
Jackson
coal
or
mine.
Caitlyn-
What?
Michael Jackson or Caitlyn Jenner?
Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce
Ooh.
Bruce Jenner at the time.
Wow.
And we're just like, we talked about how stupid blog culture is, and now we're gossiping about celebrities.
He got his.
Oh my god, I heard.
My mom thinks that if you're a woman and you've got Adam's apple, you're a trans woman. I don't. I had
That's
to
a
tell
pretty
her,
good sign. If a woman has if a woman had like my Adam's apple,
But there are
When you
women out
start-
there with Adam's. That doesn't mean you're a trans.
yeah,
though.
CC's
yeah.
got a pretty solid one.
Yeah, I had to explain to her. I was like,
Just
'cause
means
you
that
have an
you're-
Adam's apple doesn't mean you're trans. Yeah.
No, it does not.
No.
How funny was it hearing that Matt's trans cousin farted like a man?
There's some sentences that just come together, and you're like, you're just kind of like, I read that, and then I kind of just stopped doing what I was doing for
Yeah.
10 minutes and just kind of thought about it.
It is funny to like. It would be so funny to not be sure if a person at a bar was like they present as a woman, and you're like, I can't quite tell if they're a man, and then you hear them fart, and you're like, that is a man.
Yeah, that's the giveaway. That's funny.
Because I feel like women and men's flatulence is just there's such a big gap. I've met some women. I think this is a hot take. I think women's farts are stinkier, but I think men's are louder and longer. What do you think about this?
Let me think about this.
This is a big decision.
Dude, I can't even tell you that I've been around. I like where have you gathered intel on women farting? I don't. Just saying that grosses me out. Not because it's
Do you fart in front of women
no.
ever? Dude, you know what's funny?
I don't even fart in front of like other dudes. I don't. I mean, I did it to
Dude,
you
I'm
once.
gonna get you to fart.
I did it like in your face once.
Yeah, you did. That was
Yeah.
fucked up.
But that
What a
was like the
privilege. I had
craziest
no
thing I've
idea
ever
that that
done.
meant
Yeah.
so much.
I
The
don't,
craziest-
dude. If I do that and then I find out that like Anthony's home, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I did that out loud. That's so bad.
You're in your room by yourself. You just get a text from
Well,
Anthony.
dude,
it's like, did you just fart?
Yeah, if I'm in my room, dude, if I'm in bed.
Oh my god, dude! I woke up
farts in bed, but
yesterday. I woke up and I had a fart that was literally 30 seconds long.
yeah.
It was like a full. It had like a full story. It was so beautiful.
Sometimes I'll like fart in bed and be like, all right, I should just go use the bathroom. I'm pushing it.
My body is trying to tell me something right now.
I'm like, I just barely kept this shit in my ass.
Louis has a bit where he's like, isn't it crazy that you always just make it?
I could never relate to people that talked about like almost shitting their pants until one day until one day I went to brunch and I had like bottomless mimosas and I had like a nacho tower and dude I like the house was like 15 minutes away and me and my friend were walking and I told her I was like I just told her I was like I'm not gonna make it and I was like I'm gonna have to shit in that alleyway or something and she was like whatever. And she just literally like the door we're in front of, she goes up to and knocks on, and it's one of her friends. And she goes like, she's like, hey, whatever. And we both come in. She doesn't even tell them that I need to use the bathroom. Like she's just like, just fucking. And I go and I ask, can I use your bathroom? And the girl goes, use the one in my room. I go and I use the bathroom in a room, and I come back out, and I'm like messing with all of them, like, yeah, she goes back in her room and she's like, oh my fucking god. She's like, you did not just do that to my room. And I was like, I'm sorry. And she was like surprised that I shit in her bathroom that was in her room.
You just dropped a bomb.
Yeah. And it's
implied that you're not going to take a big stinky shit when you borrow someone's bathroom.
Yeah. No.
But I mean, you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, I went all the way.
Did you put the fan on?
No, I didn't even open the window or anything. At the time, at that time I was like, okay, I get it now. I get why people almost shit their pants. Before I was like, we're fucking adults. Like,
yeah. No.
Yeah,
when it has to happen, it has to happen.
For sure.
There's I honestly am in a constant crisis of almost shitting myself, but I was there's a meme that was like, have you ever been driving and you have to shit so bad that you turn the music down? And dude, like I have legitimately never related to something more in my life because I've been in that position where I'm just white knuckling it.
It's so,
and then you're just like focus.
Any like crazy issue I have, I just immediately turn the music down when I'm in the car. Mm-hmm. Dude, I got laughed at. I was on a date the other day and I got laughed at because of this. Because I told the date that I was like gonna go to the bathroom to go fart, and then she's like, okay, and I went to the bathroom to go fart, and I walked out, and I didn't even wash my hands. And then she thought it was hilarious that I would fart and then go wash my hands. She was like, you didn't use anything, you didn't touch anything.
That is funny.
Yeah.
And to fart and be like, excuse me.
Yeah, I usually I would fart and then I would go wash my hands, even though I wouldn't touch anything. But that was like a funny thing that I didn't notice. I was like, yeah, why am I washing my hands after I fart?
Yeah. There's this is kind of random, but have you heard of The Shape of Water? It's a movie.
I've definitely heard of that movie.
I think it won an Oscar.
I've definitely heard of that.
Michael Shannon, the bad guy in that movie, there's a scene, you don't have to know anything about this, but there's a scene that really stuck with me from that movie where he is the main character is like, she's cleaning the bathroom and he's like the main bad guy, and he walks into the bathroom and he goes straight to the sink and washes his hands, and then he takes a piss and doesn't wash his hands. And he then like turns to her and he says like, a man washes his hands before or after he goes to the bathroom, not both. And that was our introduction to him as a character. And then he popped like a lemon candy into his mouth, and it's burned into my memory, and I don't know why.
Popping a lemon candy is that is diabolical.
But also washing your hands before peeing. It's just
I've heard that
showing how backward of a person. Well, I guess.
Well, I've heard.
But then you have to do it after.
I've heard the argument that it depends. It's like if you touch anything in the bathroom, you have to wash your hands. But if you wash your hands and then just like you're only touching your dick, I can see why people would do that, as opposed to.
But then not wash after.
Well, there's the argument that like your private parts are cleaner than like anything,
which I agree with.
Yeah.
I might out myself on the podcast.
Also, I'm pretty sure like our new Secretary of Defense has been on the news and said that he's never washed his hands before.
Dude, I don't use soap ever. I mean, I use it when I'm cooking, but like
Dude, you know what's really lazy?
what?
My old roommate, he used to run the water and not wash his hands. He would just run the water to give off the illusion that he was washing his hands.
Whoa.
Like he would just turn it on and then watch it and then close it.
I'll at least get my fucking
No.
fingers under there.
I saw him do it once, and then I talked to him about it. I also had the suspicion that I'm not gonna say anything else. But,
Dude, are you fucking serious? Your roommate's not gonna see this. Can I use your full name on the title, or are you gonna be what? I can. Oh my!
I said I was drugged up earlier.
It's unbelievable.
My old roommate. I had the suspicion that he wasn't brushing his teeth for like 3 years because I never seen his toothbrush move. Like it was in the same position he'd stay.
Yeah.
And then I told him one day that I had to get like 2 like root canals, and he was like, "How are your teeth worse than mine? I don't even brush my teeth." And I was like, and then he kind of slipped up there, and I was like, "I knew it."
Yeah. You still look like the loser in that situation, though.
Yeah, it did kind of suck.
That stinks.
Yeah.
Were his teeth yellow?
I don't know. His teeth weren't like terrible. They definitely weren't as clean as they could be, but I didn't like. He wasn't someone that just like noticeably had bad breath or something like that.
Would you rather date a girl who is a perfect 10 but has horrible breath, or is a 6 but has no discernible breath?
I'd go with the 6. You go with the 6 and you have a peace of mind, dude. Like,
I forgot you don't like aiming too high.
You go to 10 and you're just never going to be at peace, dude. You're going to be at constant war every time.
No.
Constant inner conflict all the time. You're going to be like, am I good enough? All this shit.
But I already don't think I'm good enough.
Yeah,
That will validate that I am.
Yeah, that is true. I've never in my life been at peace.
I mean, it would be weird if you were.
I've never in my life
If I
been
met
like,
somebody and
things are going good.
Yeah, no. If you met somebody and they were like, and you're like, how's it going? And they're like, dude,
It's going
I'm
pretty
really
good.
at peace right now.
Could you
You'd be
fucking
like,
imagine?
Fuck you. You suck. I don't want to hang out with you.
Well, dude, I mean, I've been around that a lot. I didn't even realize that like a majority of my friends that I've made in like school and kind of outside of school do have money.
You also have money?
My own though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about like generational.
I thought you meant just after working.
No, I mean like these people like they have parents that have like retirement savings.
Yeah.
And stuff like, dude, I would kill for that. That's like the only that's like the main thing I'm worried about is just making sure my parents are okay after they're done working, like making sure like they're good. And I'm like, there's kids out there that don't have to worry about that.
I don't have to worry about that.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no,
I have a great mom.
I do think, but it's all everyone's gonna have issues no matter what. Everyone's gonna have a problem.
Everybody has their own bullshit.
And gratitude does suck. Practicing gratitude sucks.
Do you want to do it right now?
Sure.
Go ahead. I don't know how to do it.
I'm grateful
How do you do it?
that I'm not. I'm grateful for my height.
Grateful for your height?
I could
Let's
be
keep
taller.
going until it gets deep.
I could be taller, but at least I'm not. Shorter,
That's good.
I
I am grateful for the fact that I have a relatively, my face is fine. It's symmetrical.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
All right, now you.
Not balding. It's pretty sick.
That's good. I'll copy that. I'm not balding.
Yeah.
Grateful for that.
Maybe born in a first world country.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pick another one. But I agree with that. I'm grateful that I have constant access to running water. That's a gay one.
I wasn't bullied growing up.
Oh man. At all?
I was bullied by like my best friends. They were
Oh,
like, your
that's
dad's
a
fat
touch.
or something, and that was pretty much
We
it.
both got bullied for our dad being fat.
Yeah, but my dad wasn't fat though. He was not like your dad.
No. Is this funny?
My dad just had a rough patch. He's like in better
my
shape
dad
than
had a
me
very-
right now.
My dad saw his rough patch. I want to say something about like my dad like, I can't remember what it was going to be now. I can't even remember what it was. Something about like seeing fat to completion.
Nah.
But also this is a true story. We were at like our pool and they were having a belly flop or a cannonball contest, and we were all like, "Dad, you should enter." And he was like, "Why? Because I'm fat." We were like, "Yeah. Why else would we ask you?"
Yeah, dude.
It should be a wake up call
Yeah.
that we're all begging you to do the belly flop. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, fuck the cannonball contest.
Cannonball, yeah.
I'm grateful for comedy.
It works. It does work. Gratitude does work. If you just
Yo,
take a second.
I have a question for you. What are you, Sam Biru, really good at? What's something that you're really good at?
Saving money.
God, you fucking asshole.
Is that a bad thing to say?
No, it's a very good thing to say.
I'm good at.
But you owe me $100.
I have really good organization skills.
Okay.
I'm pretty organized when it comes to things that I need to be organized with. I think.
Not saying comedy. That's interesting.
I don't think I'm good. I don't know yet. I have to wait and see.
That's very fair.
It's kind of like sports, dude. Like you hear about all these players that have like a really good first season, and then
No, we just started.
You gotta see, yeah. You gotta see how they. And it happens all the time. Like you could look at like you hear a great song and you go like, where's the rest of the
Yeah.
the work? And it's like, oh no, that was it. This album, that was it.
But you don't really believe that.
I think it could happen to anybody.
Yeah, of course. So when we move to New York, which has to happen, if you guys back out, I know me and Matt are for sure in.
Yeah, I
but
mean, I fucking live.
When we do
right
that,
there.
What do you think's gonna happen? Let's just because this will be a fun time capsule.
Yeah.
When we're looking back, so we're gonna move in 9 months or something.
Right.
How do you think it's gonna go? What do you think's gonna happen for each of us, or just you and then by extension us?
I think we're all susceptible to just, what happens to everybody else. But I think a main factor would just be like we have to just repeat what we did here, kind of just hit as many mics as possible, go out as much as possible. I don't want to hang as much if I move, but I don't think hanging out. I mean, I think it's always a factor, just getting to know people and like building connections and everything. But I think I kind of. And I don't even think I did it intentionally. I think I just had I think it was just kind of an escape for me to just hang out a lot and drink a lot here in Chicago. And that kind of helped with comedy because I think booking here, a lot of it is just producers just seeing you and being like, oh yeah, that guy is good. That guy does do comedy, and then putting you on their show. It'll be a lot harder in New York to replicate that because it's just so big. So I think a majority of it is just being good at comedy and just going to a lot of open mics. But again, I think we're susceptible to what everybody else is going through. I think people have said that before and tried that and
why would
didn't
it not
see success.
Why would we not see success? What would be what gets in our way? Also, you're gonna have a different.
I feel like.
Yeah, you're gonna have a different trajectory than me when we move to New York.
Why do you say that?
Because you're gonna be doing more shows.
I think it's. At the end of the day, I do think it's like a lot of who you know, who's able to help you out. I think I know a good amount of people in New York, but also it's like if a majority of like people are just willing to not be complacent and move to New York, then a lot of people wouldn't have the issue of worrying about. You could kind of build a small community in New York if a lot of Chicago comics move over there, which I think is already going to happen.
There already are.
Yeah, I think there are already a lot of people that are going to move there. I don't know though. I just can't see. I think you can always find a reason not to move, and it's
true.
Like you could do that all day, and it's like play the safe game, and you're not going to get anything from it. Like when I moved to Chicago, I had same thoughts as right now, where I'm like, oh, should I move to New York? It's like, all right, what I got here is good.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know what's waiting for you, so it's like just fucking move, and then at the end of the day, if it's bad, just move back. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah, that's what Osmus did, which is crazy that he moved back and then moved back again.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in New York briefly before going to Australia and after Australia with my sister, she was in like a very nice apartment very nice area, Upper West Side.
Mm-hmm.
She pays like $4,000 with her boyfriend for that apartment, and it's like literally the size of this.
Wait, who's this?
My sister. It's the size of my apartment, and I mean, it's nice, but it's old. Like the bathroom sucked.
Yeah.
It's super cramped. All like the New York quirks.
Yeah.
And then you walk outside, and it's like way more chaotic than Chicago. Immediately, there's trash everywhere. There's
Noise
just a lot more
pollution.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
my
sir.
first thought was like, this is gonna be so much better for writing.
Oh
You're
yeah,
gonna have
yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
more. Not that Chicago, dude, Chicago is the greatest city on earth, in my opinion. But like, I can walk outside
it
right
a lot.
now and be so comfortable,
Yeah.
and that does not lend itself to amazing.
I think Philly's more fucking hectic than here.
Yes, dude, downtown Philly,
Yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not. That's the thing about it's like Chicago. The safest part is downtown.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Dude,
I've heard that
Philadelphia is like, it's kind of like a small like when I go out in Philly, I'm like, oof, like I really got to keep my head on a swivel. Well, when I go out here, I'm like, I don't really give a shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's weird because here is really segregated. I went back to Philadelphia this past week, and I was like, oh, black people. Like I was like, there's a lot of black. Dude,
Well, all the
here
mics
there's
are in the
not
north
that many
side.
fucking black people here. Like,
Well, there are.
there
They're
are.
just all
They're
in
on
the
the
south
south
and
side.
west.
Yeah. Here it's like where I live. There's like I lived in Logan Square, and now I live in Ukrainian Village.
All whiteys.
No fucking black people.
Yeah.
Like there's Latin people, but just no black people. So when I went back to Philly, I was like, oh fuck, there's a shit ton of black, and I was like, I forgot about this.
Yeah. And in New York as well.
Yeah.
That's a whole bunch of.
New York, I just feel so small every time I go. I go
Dude,
there for
I
New
felt-
Year's every year. My brother lived there for 4 years, so I'd visit him, and every single time I go there, I guess it's just like the size of every building and
Dude, the subway system.
yeah.
Just like there's no area in Chicago on the L. The L literally looks like a little kid drew it compared to
Mhm.
the New York subway system.
Yeah.
And then in the New York subway system, you can be standing on a platform and see 4 other tracks,
Yeah.
and then another platform on the
Yeah.
far side.
Yeah.
And in Chicago, the most you'll ever see is like 2. It's such a huge difference.
I've taken the train here once, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I've driven everywhere.
What,
I've only
dude?
taken it once.
You got to take the L. It's
And I've
such
lived
a joy.
here for almost 2
Love the
years
L.
now, but
That's so sad.
yeah, New York is. But I really never want to be one of these people that kind of just got complacent at where they were at and kind of just stayed for a couple of years and kind of just like, I've talked to comics here that are like, I've talked to comics that are like, oh no, you should definitely move, and I'll be like, what about you? And they're like, I can't now. I've been here for too long, and I'm like,
That's such a stupid mindset.
but I mean, it's true, but it's just like, because when you're at that age, you don't have the energy to fucking
Yeah, I guess.
restart. It's like, but I still think, if
That's
you.
the other- yeah.
It's like if you have been in Chicago doing comedy for this long, you should be able to go to New York and not have to redo everything. Like you should know enough comics. You should have
Theoretically.
enough, connections where you can just get on shows. I feel like, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't.
Yeah, but apparently that's not the case.
Actually, I'm not gonna say I don't know what I'm talking about. I kind of dislike the fact that people are like, you have to. I have a joke about this with work where I'm like, like people think you have to like do something for a certain amount of time to have an opinion on
Mhm.
it. Where I'm like, no, you can kind of have an opinion as soon as you start. Because I'm like, it's not. It's like at work, I'm like, no, this place sucks. I'm like, I don't have to wait 10 years to be like, oh, this place sucks. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, this place sucks right now. So I'm like, the same thing with comedy where people are like, you shouldn't like talk about like comedy until like you're deep in. I'm like, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, but that's also bullshit because it's like, how do you get to the point where you know about comedy?
Right,
So
yeah.
you talk about it a lot before that.
yeah.
And then also we
It's
know
also-
people
it's
that
just
have
not-
moved.
Yeah, it's also
And they're not
it's
getting booked.
It's not complicated. I don't think. I think it's pretty straightforward.
What is the
Just
whole process?
how things work. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I think it's kind of straightforward. I don't know. Going from
Yeah, I'm super excited.
uh,
I just need money, but we are at the perfect time in our life in terms of like being hungry, because you meet a lot of people who are kind of like very half in half out of comedy,
yeah,
and if you're half in half out, it's just
yeah.
it's just not gonna happen, and
Yeah.
that's my worst fear.
Going home makes me always kind of like, I don't know. Doing something different really does make me kind of more motivated to work on comedy stuff because
100%.
I went home and now I live in a town like outside of Philadelphia where it's just like really sad and kind of desolate and
Nothing going on.
Yeah, my brother. I picked up my brother from the airport, and he said the funniest thing. He was like, "I don't even think they'd make a movie about someone killing themselves here." And I was like, "It's fucking true." And I just see like it's crazy to go like back to like a bar or like you just go and see people and they're like, "That's it." And they called it. You know, they called life just now. Like they just this is what they're doing. They got a family,
Absolutely.
and I'm like, "Fuck."
And then on that, like on Friday night at a bar, like this is their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is what they got through the week for. It's
Right.
just all for this,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna restart,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna do it again, rinse and repeat,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna save up and go on a fucking Carnival cruise, and have a heart attack at sea,
Yeah.
and die in international waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredibly. Yeah, it makes me want to kill myself.
I can see people, finding purpose in raising a child.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people have kids to fulfill that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are like, I don't know what to do with my life, so
No.
they have kids, which is not. I don't think that's what you should do, but I do think it like redefines your priorities.
I think some people are hindered by the way they were raised, and they kind of like don't see an end for themselves, so they kind of try to repeat it, have a kid, and try to raise them up the right way. That's kind of what I've always thought is like, oh, if this shit doesn't work out, then I'm 100% gonna like try my best to like have a kid and
Make it work out for them.
right, yeah,
Totally. Yeah.
because
Give them what I didn't have.
exactly, yeah. When I was a kid, there wasn't much focus on like it was just all academia based, which I thought was really weird. Like even if I liked, like I remember there was like this weird thing where I was really into like tools and stuff. Like I used to like always try to fix my own stuff, like my bike and just anything that I owned, like any device, any object that I had. If it broke, I would try to fix it myself, and I'd always like touch my dad's tools. And my dad was like so mad whenever I would touch his tools. He'd be like, "Don't like stay the fuck away from my tools. Don't touch my shit." And it would just be because I like maybe I wouldn't put it back the way I found it or whatever. But he was still like, "Stay the fuck away from my toolbox." Which I'm like, if I had a kid and they were in my tools, I'd be like, "Hey,
Yeah, you
go
got a little
for it,
blue
dude."
collar worker.
Yeah, I'm like even
Little
like
vocational baby. on
yeah,
your
I'm like
hands.
that's like a really like if you see a kid gravitating towards something naturally,
You should let them
you
take
should
it.
not like push them away.
It's a
from
very
it.
good point.
Yeah, like Caleb's really into drawing and music, and I'm like, no, fully like
Let them do it.
yeah, let them do it. I'm like, don't like push them away from it if it inconveniences you a little bit. Like that's not. But yeah, I'm always like, I wonder what would happen if my dad was just like, "Yeah, go for it. Like, fuck around with the tools." And I mean, I'm still an engineer, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'd be doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, more
No.
hands on.
Yeah. I don't know.
I totally already. I mean, I haven't even lived a life, and I'm already thinking my kids can have a better life.
Yeah.
My kids can have hope.
It can always be better.
I'm basically operating under the assumption that I'm going to fail,
Yeah.
and I need my kids to not fail,
Yeah.
which is a bad way to operate.
Yeah.
But that drive to make my kid, I don't even have kid. I don't like. They're not even on the horizon.
Right.
But for whatever reason, this primal drive to make my kids as elite as possible is
Yeah.
so strong in me.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. It's refreshing too. I feel like there's so many people I know that don't even want kids anymore, which
Dude,
is
I
not a bad
hate-
thing. But
No,
it's,
it is, dude. Population collapse. But I mean, that's
well, we're overpopulated, so it's
no, but the population's gonna collapse. It's gonna happen, Sam.
meaning.
People have stopped having kids. We're like, we're going down for the first time ever.
I'm pretty sure that's good though because we don't have enough resources.
You would think it would be good,
I don't think,
but it's
countries are
not
gonna starve
actually good.
anymore.
Because I also thought it would be good. I was like, we just have more shit, and then
Yeah.
somebody was like, no, and I was like, I don't know why you're right, but I trust you more than me.
Interesting. That's like a big problem in Ethiopia. Is it's just people just have way too many kids.
Yeah, dude.
I
Poor
think
people and rich people.
temporarily, if there was a reduction in the amount of people that are having babies, it would help. But
I don't like when people our age are like, oh, I don't want to bring kids into this world. And it's always the people that I'm like, I really hope you don't.
yeah,
Because I hate you.
that's
and
such
I-
a dumb like thing to say too. It's like
Yeah, you're
don't-
just giving up.
why don't you? Well, it's
Fuck
not.
you.
It's just like ingenuine. It's just ingenuine to say that. Like you should just say that. Like You shouldn't use the current state of the world as an excuse to not have kids.
Yeah, you just have a barren pussy. Your ovaries are dry.
I remember I tried to write a bit about how like if I try to write a bit about like how. Well, no, actually, it kind of contradicts what I'm saying here. But I was just
Perfect.
I was gonna say that like if gas was $1, I don't think I could stop coming. Like I'd probably have a hard time not coming if like gas was $1 and you could buy a house really easily.
You wouldn't wait. You couldn't stop coming. What?
That's a reason why it's not a bit.
Wait, what? So
I was just
I don't
saying,
even understand it.
you know when people are like, I wouldn't have kids in this economy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense because like if the
You're
economy
saying
was
you just
good,
keep having kids.
yeah, I would
okay.
I wouldn't like I'd be like,
I
if
thought you just meant coming with just like reckless abandon, just like jerking off. I was like, you're so happy that you're just like,
with reckless
oh
abandon.
fuck, gas is so cheap. Fuck, God.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay,
With
I guess
reckless
that makes sense.
abandon.
I mean, I would never want that many kids.
No.
Dude, but kids are truly so great. Like I love kids.
Kids are
Kids are
awesome,
so dude, you know what I love about kids is kids are so curious about things and because they don't know anything.
Yeah.
They're so curious about things and if you ask a kid a question, no matter how ridiculous that question is, they will at least entertain that question. And they will put serious thought toward it and they will give you a thoughtful response. Yeah. And then you will have a discussion about that. And there are a lot of people who are already our age, which we're still so young, who are like, they won't even entertain a conversation like that. It's just like stupid about something that's purely theoretical or will never happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's stupid. It would never happen. Why would we even talk about that? But it's like, why would we talk about anything?
Yeah.
It's like when we're talking about who you're going to vote for, like that's not really going to have an impact.
No.
But you're going to drone on about that and you don't want to talk about what animal you'd want to be.
Yeah.
That's a way more interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And nobody's getting hurt.
Kids have great conversations.
They have great conversations because they don't have these blocks.
Yeah.
And you see, especially with boys and girls, when they're little kids, they don't really have that understanding that it should be taboo to be together. Like there's like the whole thing of like the middle school dance where it's all the boys on one side and all the girls on the other.
Yeah.
But in these camps that I work, the guy like the 4-year-old boys and the 5-year-old group, the boys and the girls are both like tackling each other and playing together because they don't even recognize like gender really at that point.
Yeah.
Like they're just fucking around. And then they get to like 10 years old. Yeah. And then you start to see them like alienating themselves from each other because they're starting to like get those hormones or whatever. But it's really cool how pure it is when they're that young because you're just like, we are just the same.
Right.
We're all just little flesh mounds playing together. It's really pure.
I love watching that. I remember when I was in elementary school. No, I was in middle school, and one of my best friends beat the brakes off this girl.
Oh hell yeah!
And I remember it was in 6th grade, and we were kind of like, "Hey man, I think I don't think you can do that anymore." Really, it's not cool. And he's just nah. But no, I love.
But I love kids.
I love talking.
My friend beat the shit out of a woman.
I realized that I do this thing with Caleb, which I think is pretty. It's like a habit that I have, but I think it's pretty.
So jealous you have a younger brother.
Oh, it's amazing. It's pretty like I can't stop doing it. But anytime I'm like having a comment, like I was on the phone with somebody and I said like intelligent, and Caleb walked in, and I'll go, Caleb, you know what intelligent means? And he goes, no. And I go, intelligent means like very smart. Like, you're very intelligent. And he'll be like, thank you. And I'll be like, say it in a sentence. And then he'll say it, and I'll be like, say the word again. He'll be like, intelligent. I'll be like, all right. And I'll just walk away. Any, like, word I use that he's, like, not familiar with.
Fill him in.
I'm just like the other day I was like, don't eat that. And he was like, why? And I was like, the ingredients are bad. And he was like, oh. And I was like, you know what ingredient means? And he was like, no. I'm like, it's what you put in food. And he was like, oh, okay.
Dude, that shit's sticking with him.
Yeah, I just have a habit where I'm like, I gotta make sure
his wealth of knowledge.
I'm like, I gotta make sure he knows what I'm saying. So anytime like I get the opportunity to be like, you know what that is, and he's like, no, I'm like, all right, this is what it is.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Because a lot of the time they just take it contextually.
I remember I said, do you know what specific is? And he said no, and I was like, it's.
You couldn't describe it. It's really specific. Well,
yeah. I was like, it means something particular, and I was like,
You know what particular means?
It's
There are a lot of words. I'll be reading sometimes and I'll read a word and I'll be like, I know how to use this in a sentence,
Yeah.
but if you asked me to define this, I would look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck do you define
Yeah.
specific? I'm like, it's something.
You know,
I don't.
it's, you know,
Yeah, so it didn't really work, but yeah,
that's smart.
yeah, he's a good kid. I love doing that too. It's like, I think it's great to like see. I love watching kids develop and I get the
Yes.
best of it because I come around like every 4 or 5 months, or like I used to come out once a month.
So you
but
get to really see the change.
yeah, like today, like no, the other day I was like, I picked him up from school, and I was like, "What was your favorite part of school today?" And he goes like recess, and I was like, "Was recess fun?" And he was like, "Duh," and I was like, "Oh my god," and I was like, "You're really grown up." I was like, he's using like sarcasm now.
Yeah,
like, he's just
duh.
like, "Duh," and I was like, "Oh fuck."
No shit, old man.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn, dude." And I was like, and then he started having half days, and I was like, "Why are you so sad?" And he was like, "No recess or lunch. Those are like the best part of
Dude,
school."
your little brother's such a beast. I agree with his takes on life so wholeheartedly.
Dude, I was literally
Recess
like,
is the best, and he's upset he didn't get it. I'm like, this kid would be my best friend.
Dude, he's like, "No recess or lunch." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it does suck." like,
Such a beast.
I'm like, "Fuck, man." He's like, "It's so," and dude, he's living the exact same life that me and my brother lived. Like, except he's extremely kind. Like, he's way more nice. Than any, like, dude,
He's the exact same, but he's not a huge asshole.
yeah, like me and my brother were sitting there. We're like, how did he become like so nice compared to us? Like, we were like fine. We didn't like bother anybody, but we weren't like outwardly like the principals called home to his mom and been like, "Your son is like the nicest kid I've ever met." Like, it's insane. Like,
Damn.
yeah, he's super nice, and he goes to the same schools that we did. Like, he's going to the same elementary school that we did, and picked him up from school, and like he was like, it's just sick kind of to do that.
Yeah.
Like he
That's so
thinks
cool.
it's his mom, and then he sees his brother, and he's like, "Fuck."
He says fuck,
No, but I'm just like, that's like,
but why would he go through that emotion? I
dude,
figured,
have you ever
he'd
had?
be juiced.
Have you ever? Yeah, he is juiced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, fuck, that's like awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I thought you meant fuck like that's bad.
No, dude, I remember when like I would think my mom was picking me up, and then it would be like somebody else, and I'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah, yeah. What the
Yeah.
fuck is going on?
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I picked him up on his first day when I hadn't seen him in like 5 months, and he was like, and I was like,
Dude.
It was awesome.
When we're in New York, we got to take your brother to Central Park and stuff.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I would be so glad to
That'd
do
be
that.
so fun, man.
That'd be so.
He would
awesome.
love it, dude. Dude, he is a beast, man.
So cool.
And he's got insane confidence too. Like he came up to me and he was like, "You want to learn how to become an artist?" And I was like,
Dude, your brother definitely has a huge cock. He's definitely the one in the family who got it.
Dude, he's hung.
Wait, what were you saying? You want
He
to be
came
an
up to
artist?
me and he was like, "You want to learn how to become an artist?" And I go, "Like, sure." And he goes, "All right, draw a picture of this." And he shows me like a cartoon character, and I draw it, and he just starts laughing. He's like, "Sammy," he's like, "It's good, but I could do better." And then he just drew way better. And then he was like, "But you did really good though." And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Yo, this kid is insane."
That's so sick.
I know. He really, like, that was like the most enjoyable thing about that trip was just messing around with him. But yeah,
Does he know that you're coming back to the East Coast?
No, I don't think he knows what's kind of going on with me. Like, I was kind of like, when I was leaving yesterday, I was kind of like, "Oh, I'll be back."
When you're a kid, it's hard to.
Yeah. I was like, "I'll be back for Christmas," and he was like, "Is Christmas tomorrow?" And I was like, "No."
Fuck. All right, I was giving him a little too much credit, I guess.
Yeah, I was
Christmas tomorrow.
Yeah, I was like-
Motherfucker, it was Thanksgiving today.
I was like, "No, dude."
Michael Bublé hasn't even started playing.
But no, I think he kind of doesn't. I don't think he knows what's going on with me and my brother and I because, well, here's the thing.
How old is he?
He's 6.
When you're 6, you're not thinking about anything
No,
other than your life,
no.
which you shouldn't be.
And by the time he was like,
You're 6.
by the time he was conscious, me and my brother were never home consistently because we were either in college or we just didn't live at home.
Yeah.
So like he's never experienced us being home all the time. So like he just thinks that we just come by. So like he doesn't know that like when he was like 1 year old, I used to take care of him every day. Like he just thinks like I show up like once every like 3 months, and I'm like, yo. So yeah, but I think when I moved to the East Coast, I definitely, I can't even wait just thinking about being able to go home like without,
You can just take the train.
yeah, without taking the flight. It's
Yeah.
amazing, dude. It's sick just being able to just drive home or take a flight or take a train or whatever. But yeah, I'd be around my family way more. I'd be able to do comedy.
Same.
In a really nice city, and
Wow. It's dirty.
it's overpopulated, dirty. People suck there. But.
Pizza, dude. How much do you miss pizza? I don't really know how the pizza was in Philly. In Jersey, the pizza was unreal. I mean, dude, the amount
Dude,
of Italian food in New Jersey is. I'll say it once. I'll say it.
Are you not working after this? You're not working, right?
No, not today.
We should get food, dude.
Oh, I can't afford it, dude. I bought food last night with
I'll
Kelsey.
get food for us if it's like under $20.
Each.
Like if we order like burgers or something and it's like $20 or some shit like that.
All right, I could figure that out.
Yeah, let's figure.
We
it
could
out, dude.
walk somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's walk in the
That's a
grove.
great idea.
Get a beer or something.
Oh my god.
I'm down to just fucking put money up. I spent pretty much.
Yo, do you want to invite Matt over in Jackson and have a Scrabble tournament
Oh
tonight?
yeah.
Oh,
We should tell him
my
to
roommate's
bring
coming
alcohol
back,
too.
so he's gonna be a little annoyed about that. But
Yeah, we should tell him
We
to bring
should just do it.
chorus. Wait, we should text him now.
we're getting a little sidetracked. Well, how much more time do you want to do?
How long are we going? I want to get some good numbers.
Oh, dude. I mean, if you want to get good numbers, my friend, you're gonna have to show your feet. We're at 111.
No, I didn't mean the good numbers in that way. I just meant good numbers in time, duration.
Oh yeah, because you know what's funny? I want to bring this up to all the podcast listeners. Is that I started this podcast. I'm a very purposeful man, and one of the things that I thought when I started this podcast was I am going to talk until my guest refuses to talk. I was like, I'm going to outlast my guest every single time, and the pod ends when they decide it ends. And because of that, I've had episodes that have lasted over 5 hours, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I've obviously trimmed them to like 3-something hours, which is still insane. But the biggest hater of that was Sam Biru, Morkata.
Yeah.
He was like, no, you should be editing it and making it 45 minutes. No one's going to listen for that full time. And you're wrong, because guess what? Marcus Yandall, Max Wills, Matthew Jordan, and Michael Pavasic all listen the whole time. Yeah, that's right. No matter how poorly this podcast does, I know that those gentlemen will be supporting me. Also, I just think, I think at like 1,000 subscribers, I'll start putting out clips. But
Yeah.
I just like, what's the point of putting out clips?
Personally,
it's a mediocre podcast.
My take on this was that like
Hopefully I win the Gazellies though.
I love. Oh yeah, you foot freaks got this man nominated for a Gazelle.
Shout out. Yeah, let's actually quickly
Yeah.
address that.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the foot freaks for watching. I know we talk about you guys being, freaks and all that, but I got nominated for the best podcast in Chicago comedy, and hopefully I win. And if I do, guess where that trophy plaque, whatever the fuck, is going? It's going right here.
Yep.
So that when we do the pod, people are gonna know.
I think the Instagram page is called Comedy Gazelle.
The voting's already done, unfortunately.
The voting's done?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They closed it?
It ended past Monday. You voted, right,
No.
Sam?
I did not vote.
I was also nominated for Most Improved Comic.
Wait, so like the voting
If anybody wants to vote for that.
The voting for the people that were nominated ended already?
Correct.
Interesting.
So you didn't vote me for Most Improved?
I didn't vote anybody. I also got voted for the same thing twice.
That's hilarious.
No.
You know what's crazy? You, me, Drew, and Jackson all got nominated for something.
It's sick.
Citywide.
If you guys win, I'll be very happy. I think
I don't think I'm going to win.
I think it'll end it.
I think I'll get Best Podcast. I don't think I'm going to get Most Improved. But it is cool that people wrote my name in.
Yeah,
For
I
Most
wrote your
Improved.
name in for that. For both, Most Approved and Podcast. I just didn't vote. I didn't think it was going to end that quick. I was kind of stuck on Jackson or Drew.
Most improved. I feel like my entire life I've been the most improved kid.
Who did you vote for most underrated comic?
Jackson White.
Oh, you didn't put Drew?
I put Jackson. I was talking to Matt with Jackson about this. I feel like a lot of people acknowledge how good Drew is.
Yeah, I would agree. If I were to vote, I would have put Jackson
Yeah.
because I don't think Drew's underrated.
And I voted Kyron Harrell for hardest working.
I do think he's the hardest worker.
I voted AJ Lydeg for best host.
I don't know if that's true. But I love HA, but I just don't know if that's true.
Voted.
What does he host?
I voted Chris Grego for best producer.
Best host, I'd put Joe Ames or Grace Baylor. I feel like they host pretty,
Well, I mean, for best open mic host, I put Joe Fernandez.
That's also true.
Was there anything else for best podcast to put Post Set Clarity?
Yeah.
This podcast. If I don't win, I'm actually gonna be mad.
That wasn't a diss on AJ, by the way. I think he is one of the hardest working comics in Chicago and funniest.
AJ, Hannah, and Kyron were all voted for the hardest working.
Which is insane because they're all extremely hardworking.
They are. They are.
That was probably like the most accurate nominees.
I nominated Hannah. I mean, I nominated Kyron, but I voted for Hannah. Because as soon as I saw Hannah's name, I was like, "That is true." Hannah is.
Well, it's weird. Like
grinder.
Kyron, works hard as fuck.
I figured it would be
I
equal
just
if I
don't have the
nominated
amount
one
of
and voted for the
energy to do what he does.
No.
Like to drive around, to fucking seek gigs, to plan things. Like it's just like it has taping coming out. Just doing all this shit where I'm like,
it's nonstop.
I don't know if he does this full time or not, but I'm like the way he operates is as if he's like a full time comic.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he does. He has food stamps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he probably does do this for himself.
You know, it would be a great pod, you, me, and Kyron.
That would be very fun.
Because Kyron and I would team up against you almost immediately.
1,000%. That would probably be terrible for me.
Yeah, dude. Your PR would shoot
Kyron
down.
doesn't even know the shit that you know. Like he doesn't even know. No.
But he'd side with me
for
sure.
He kind of knows a little bit. It's like he's just missing parts, but yeah. But
I haven't seen Kai in a while.
Yeah, I got nominated for the same thing twice.
Yeah.
It's weird because
you got nominated for Rookie of the Year twice, which means people saw you and then they were like, "This guy's great," and then they saw you and they're like, "This guy's great." But I don't remember him from last year.
I was like 6 months new to this city when I got nominated the first time. So I had like half a year. Got nominated for it. Didn't win. I got outvoted.
Who
by
beat you again? Was it
quirky white woman?
Rebecca Jaffe?
Yeah. Which
I'm gonna say something on the pod right now that might be a bit controversial, especially for my standing within the Chicago comedy scene. Rebecca Jaffe is not the nice person that you think she is.
Holy shit.
You take away that girl's little guitar, and she is a vicious monster.
I'm not affiliated with this discourse.
Should I keep that in?
Don't do that. We'll pick up from here. I got nominated twice for the same award. The first time I got beat by a really quirky white girl. Starting over again.
Go ahead.
I got nominated for the same award twice.
Oh yeah, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and I don't want to win.
Why not?
No, I don't. I think the other people I'm nominated against are like 17 and like 18.
Sam Frome. I voted for Abigail Blaze.
Good.
Who should have been on the pod today, but she was sick.
Good.
So thank you for filling in.
Yeah.
Sam canceled last week.
Yeah.
Did you think I was mad at you?
No. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I thought you were just kind of like exhausted by the.
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was mad though.
Rightfully so. Yeah. I don't. I don't think I should be now. I think that's kind of unfair. It's maybe last year, but
as I said, it's the Ben Simmons Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
You're not a rookie.
Yeah. No.
You should have been nominated for like I don't know, best or sluttiest or fucking most promiscuous or.
Oh God. It will be really fun to lose that twice, though.
It will be, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
It would be hilarious if you won, though.
If I won, I wouldn't.
You have to accept that, dude.
Yeah, I'd have to go up and then I'd have to make a joke, a mockery out of it.
Yeah. So, what happens if you win? Do you give a speech? Is this like the Oscars for comedy?
Here's the thing. I don't think it's like if I win, I'm like whatever. I've been here for a year and a little bit over a year. I'm like I came here in the middle of the year, so I'm like it's not completely inaccurate.
You're already justifying it.
I'm just saying
You're
what
already
it
like,
is.
you know what? I know a lot of people have been talking about how I don't deserve this, but I do.
It's not my fault. I picked up at a rapid pace.
Whoa, folks!
No, I'm joking.
You heard it here, folks. First, Sam Biru, the power is going to his head.
What I will say is it's awkward. It's awkward because I came here in the middle of the year, so I could see why the mishap happened. But if I were to win it, I would just make a joke out of it. I would just be like, but I don't want to make a joke out of Comedy Gazelle in general. I would just make a joke out of the fact that I got nominated for the same thing twice. I think it's honestly stupid that people try to make a joke out of Comedy Gazelle. I've heard that's happened in the past.
Make a joke out of comedy?
Kind of like critique it or whatever.
No.
A lot of people try to critique it.
It's such a pure intention thing.
1,000%. And it's also just like if you got
I gotta
recognition from it, you
Jerry on the
wouldn't
pod.
be critiquing it yourself.
Yeah,
if you
that's
got
definitely
recognition you thought you deserved, you wouldn't be saying anything. And it's like people will say like, oh, you know, what I was talking to somebody that was like, oh, like why don't people just book whoever's like talented? You don't need like a fucking audition style. I'm like, well, people don't do that. People
No.
book their friends,
And
So
they
I'm like,
won't. They won't. They never
you
will.
know, and I'm like that like when I did Vouch, that's the tape that I use when I submit to shows. It's helped me greatly. It's helped you. It's helped a bunch of other comics.
It stopped helping
It
me.
helped a bunch of comics perform for the first time at the Laugh Factory. So I'm like, fuck off. It's not, you know, it's done great things for people.
It's clearly a good thing.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, motherfucker?
Yeah, and the whole idea of it is a meritocracy. When they announced, and shout out to Jerry Hamdi, guy who runs it, when they announced like the whole vouch thing.
Fuck Jerry.
Fuck Jerry.
Fuck you, Jerry.
In a good way though.
I love you.
I hope he enjoys it. I'm gonna have him on the pod, but
Jerry's awesome.
he's a beast. His rice joke is very good. Have you heard his rice bit?
He's always got something to say about
Where he's
rice.
do you guys remember like freerice.com? It was like a website where you did math problems and then they like the more math problems you did, like they donated rice to people that were starving, and he was like, doesn't it seem like they already have the rice?
That's very funny.
It's such a great joke.
Like, no, do a math
It's like,
problem.
we have to, what's 4.7?
Who's this person with this like insane
Yeah,
amount
they're
of
just sitting on
rice?
a pile of rice.
rice.
Just like, oh, they got it right. All right,
Yeah.
let's send the rice to the Ethiopians.
So funny, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great joke. But yeah, when he posted it, the idea of vouch, my first thought was like, I have to get this
Yeah.
because if I don't, it invalidates everything that I've been telling myself, which is, if this were a pure meritocracy, I would. Can you grab me another one? I would be able to do well, and then which is a pretty fucking arrogant thought, but. B, it was like I really hope that this doesn't get tarnished, and that this does remain something that's like that has parity.
Yeah.
And thus far, it's maybe I'm just saying this because I got nominated, but
Well, I heard, isn't this the last Gazelles or?
no, just of the year, I think. Right? Like there's one a year.
No, I think it was the final one.
They say that every year.
No, I don't think they're doing this again.
Ah,
I could be wrong.
I hope we go out with a bang. Are we hosting?
What?
We'd be like Kristen Wiig and Amy Poehler. No, I'm retarded. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Sorry, Kelsey.
I went to the
said
one
retarded.
last year. The one last year was fun. It was good.
Yeah, how was it? I heard. Wait, is that where Max Storage did Asian voice?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So for the very bottom category, it said
Suggesting.
suggest an
a
award.
guest spot? Or-
An award, I think.
Oh, an award.
And I said best Jolly Bean impression.
Oh, that's Max on the dot.
Yeah,
man.
obviously.
Max is a really good impressionist. Like, he actually has a lot of them
Yeah,
locked
he is.
down. Yeah.
He is.
And you got to be bold to try that shit on stage.
I'm gonna start doing more voices on stage.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know. I like the Gazelles, man. Having your peers' recognition really does matter.
Yeah, I care. I was talking to a comic outside of Lincoln Lodge one time, and I said, "What do you care about more, being liked or respected?" And they said liked, and I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, no.
I don't care if anybody likes me, but if you respect me, I think it's so badass to
I don't
not
think
be liked,
I don't.
but to be respected. Not that I'm either,
On
but if you had to choose,
on stage, I don't think being liked is something that's in your control, but I think being respected is.
I think it's in your control.
I don't think so.
By comics, maybe not, but
I think
by
sometimes
the audience, absolutely.
there's something like there's some people where I talk to where I go, you can't fix that. Whatever the fuck is wrong with you.
I mean, that's most people.
Yeah, so I'm saying like being likable is like sort of innate. Like it's like either you walk on the stage and you people gravitate towards you and pay attention towards you, or they don't. You know, some people have a star that shines very bright.
Yeah.
And then some people are kind of dull, but they're really good at stand up, and you got to respect that. But I'm like, sometimes you get to both worlds where you're like, someone walks on, and you go, I want to fucking hear what this guy has to say.
They've got it.
And then they kill it too, and you're like, fuck
so
yeah.
do you think you have it?
I'll take no questions. I don't.
Oh my god, that means
it's
yes.
so gay.
Folks.
It's so gay to be like, I've got this thing,
dude. You do.
No, it's gay.
I'm gonna call it now because this is early on the pod.
Fucking cut this out.
This guy's gonna be so successful.
It's so gay to do that in your living room, dude.
This guy is gonna do such great things. I'm
literally gonna pee on your toilet seat.
As
now.
uncomfortable as Sam if this was happening to me, but
I'm
I have the high ground right now.
going to pee all over your bathroom.
I have to pee so bad right now.
I do too.
You have no idea. We should cross streams.
I'm gonna pee in your sink.
I used to do that when I was little.
Yeah. I used to do that when I was in college.
You're gonna be so
would get
good.
sink and then someone would get toilet.
You're gonna be on SNL.
Dude, fucking end it.
If you did an SNL audition, I legitimately think that you get hired. And then, so here's the thing, is I'm aware that all of my success relies on you. So I really...
Dude, tell him about... one time Harry came over to my house, and I was, like, extremely depressed, and he was just, like, kind of walking around, and my house had, like, a wind gust to it, like, in the summer.
Yeah, like a tumbleweed?
Yeah, like, my house had, like, a wind gust, and there was, like, crooked painting pictures that were hung on the wall, and there was nothing in the fridge except for, like, potatoes and beer, and... But yeah, he kind of was just like, no wonder you're fucking like depressed. Like you live in a depressed.
You live in squalor.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then later on, I remember looking at you and being like, dude, we're not gonna make it. I was like, we're not gonna do anything with this shit.
Yeah. Then I think we both agreed to sleep sitting up on your couch while Kyron came. I told my mom about that.
Dude, we're sitting like this on the couch and we're waiting for another friend, and they're just like, let's just go to sleep real quick until he comes.
Bro, we literally did what like 90-year-olds do, like just sitting on rocking chairs on a porch, be like, you want to take a quick nap and then come back to this?
And then Kyron came and just fucking brought us to 100 because he's so contagious. Because
he is 100.
Yeah.
Kyron's never not 100.
He's got contagious energy.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
And I was like, whew, but... I remember just being so bleak, and I remember you were like, what's like the peak for you in comedy? And I was like, probably doing like Don't Tell.
And like the next day you did Don't Tell.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I got it, my bad.
Oh fuck, I achieved my dream. Yeah. Fuck, shit.
I was like, yeah, doing a Don't Tell show would be pretty sick if this whole thing were to wrap up. And then you're like. I mean, and then now I'm like, oh, that means nothing at all.
I still have not gotten Don't Tell, and I would love a Don't Tell. I really want a Don't Tell.
You just have to like ask
Sam could get a Don't Tell tomorrow.
You just gotta ask somebody, and then be like, all right, you could do it.
So okay, so this is.
I don't think anything you could do here will change your life, dude.
Yeah. Also, that's the thing is like. I see so many posts of people doing shows, and I see the graphic, and it's like, I know you made this graphic on your phone, and it's like shitty. And it's like, I don't even want to be on your shitty apartment show or bar show. Yeah. Am I even going to get better? I guess you got the time. Yeah, that's the thing. But it's like, I just don't care. I just really don't care if I get booked here. I know I should.
I got fucking pump faked when I came here because when I left Philadelphia, I was like, this is where people go to get big. I was like, I'm gonna go there. Then I came here and everybody was like, no, you come here to like build yourself up.
You come here to get medium.
Yeah. So then when I came here, I was like, oh, okay, nothing fucking. But I guess when I was moving from New York, I was like, this is it. You know, people blow up in Chicago.
You mean Philly? And
then I quickly realized, no, people leave Chicago to better than. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm taking like a medium.
Chicago is the Fortnite lobby.
I don't play video games.
God damn it. That was such a perfect metaphor. Chicago is like the loading screen in a video game.
Okay.
And then you enter, and that's New York.
Okay.
Or whatever. Scene
Wherever you go. Yeah.
But like, the best Chicago comedian is the 50th best New York comedian. If that.
It's also, it was really kind of.
And there are a lot of great comedians in Chicago.
It's
don't
kind of a
get me wrong.
letdown when I was like, who are the best comedians? And they'd be like, that guy over there.
Yeah.
And I would look, and it would just be like the bartender.
Just like a
at
dude.
bar and I'd be like, oh.
Yeah. And
Like,
they'd be like,
fuck.
yeah, he's been doing it 49 years.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, okay.
They're
okay.
like, he's
yeah.
the guy here. And
How
I'm
many
like,
followers does he have? I mean, that's stupid. That doesn't matter. But
Yeah. All right. We got to wrap this up. We got to get food and then also.
I got to piss so bad.
Yeah, we got to.
Well, really quick, I want to ask you something. So you're doing well in comedy.
Relative.
Yes, but like, I would say out of people in Chicago that are our age, you're probably doing one of the best, if not the best. Everybody I talk to is like, Sam is really good, and he is gonna go places. Like, I've had people tell me, like, if there's one person that's gonna do things and make it, it's Sam. So what is it like to have people acknowledge that you are capable of great things? And then what is it like being friends with people who don't have that? Do you feel, aka me, but like, do you feel like you're in that position, or do you feel like a fraud?
I'm gonna be honest. I think when you have recognition from other comics, it's not as good as having recognition from people you knew before. I think the most recognition that I appreciated was people from back home. Like when they would be like, "Hey, this is a cool thing that you're doing." That would matter way more to me, for some reason. I think comic recognition is cool, but I also think it's kind of like, they say that with everybody. They like, you can go into like.
They don't say that with everybody, dude.
I don't know, but
People back home don't know what's going on. They see a picture of me at the Laugh Factory, they think I'm doing well.
But it's still a cool. For me, I've always been like, I don't want to be like, I don't know. I've always had like just insecurity about other people's judgment. So like whenever people from back home that I grew up with would be like, "Hey man, like go for it," I'd always be like, "Yeah, like now I want to, like now I want to do it." Not like I, don't, it's like. Me and you, if we're like, yeah, we could, like we could, fucking suck each other's dicks all day and like.
We could.
And
You
go
wouldn't like how
nowhere,
sensually I would
but
do
like
it. But
people that I know that would straight up tell me to stop doing something because they cared about me, tell me to keep doing something. I'm like, oh, that kind of rocks. Like my brother, good friends from back home that are like, no, you should keep going.
When your mom told you after the Ralph thing, when your mom or during, like when she found out you were doing it, and she was like, "Go out and practice."
Yeah, that was cool. That was like it's really cool to have your parents support that. Because every time I tell my mom, I'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna do comedy," she'd be like, "You should just stay in. You should just like go to bed. It's dangerous outside." And then when I was like, "Oh no, I got like a really good gig," and then she was like, "Okay, all right, go practice," and I was like, "Okay, that."
She gets it a little
Yeah, I was like, that rules. And then my dad's got like the ideology that like whatever you do, you just have to be the best at it. And for some reason, I thought he would hate comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But when he found out I was doing comedy, he was like, "You should make like a." The first thing he said, he was like, "You should make a TikTok account." He was like, "You should start posting on TikTok." And then like after, whenever I'd call him and he would see me in the house, he'd be like, why aren't you? Like, he wouldn't understand. He'd be like, "Why aren't you working on it?" Like he'd be like, "Why are you at home if you could be working on it?" And I'd be like, "Oh, like this guy has like the same like winning mentality. It's not just with school. It's like whatever."
Clark mentality.
Exactly, yeah. So I was like, "Oh, that's that to me." That and then also like the people that I knew before I started doing comedy, that like support matters more than a comic's support.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
It makes a lot of sense. I think being respected by comics means a lot to me.
no.
But I will say, I think after my mom saw me do a video at the Laugh Factory, even though she doesn't even really know what the Laugh Factory is, it definitely has changed how my mom talks about stand-up with me.
Yeah.
Because I told her about the whole vouch thing and how like I basically won a competition. And then got to do this club, and then I got to do another club 2 days later that was really big.
Yeah.
And my mom kind of went from like, okay, have fun doing that thing, to
Right.
like, oh, Harry has done this.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, it's also you just gotta show your parents what you're capable of.
Yeah.
They're not easy to lure in, which I think is a
It's
good
also not
thing.
a promising endeavor.
I think it kind of sucks when your parents kind of buy all their stock when you're like you have nothing to show for. I think you got to show. Like I remember the one thing like I was telling my mom, I'd be like, "Hey mom, I made like $80 off this show," and she'd be like, "That's it?" And I'd be like, "No mom, that's like great.
That's
for comedy."
really good.
And she'd be like, "No," I'd be like, "No." And then I remember I fucking made like thousands off a show, and then she was like, "It's more like it."
Yeah,
and I was
and
like,
she's like,
she
go
was like,
practice.
yeah, she was like, "No, this is like the standard."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. I just like you just have like a higher, But yeah, like parental support's definitely good.
Can't imagine just doing a show and being like, all right, that's rent.
That was nice. It's not every day, but that was really nice.
If we just don't quit for like 8 years,
Not even.
we'll get there. Right,
But honestly, if you want to put out good content, yeah, you got to put in a good amount of time. But
yeah, I'm not really. I mean, maybe I'm too comfortable, but I'm really not gonna go crazy on anything until I go to New York, and then I'm gonna really fucking double down, and I'm just gonna be putting out like a clip a week, just going crazy, clipping up the podcast. What's cool about the podcast is I have so much. I have a wealth of footage that I could just clip up and put out.
Yeah.
And I just haven't tapped into that yet.
Yeah.
And I'm very okay with that because it's like, who am I even showing at this point?
Right.
But I feel like I've got a lot of good moments.
No.
But do you want to tell the people anything before we cross streams? Oh man, I have to pee so bad.
If any of you guys are Chicago-based people, I run a weekly show called Best Night Ever.
Great plug.
Tuesday, 8 p.m., Lincoln Lodge. I also run a show called No Gimmicks every first Friday of the month, Lincoln Lodge, 9 p.m. Also help produce Limelight, Lincoln Lodge. Follow Limelight Chicago for updates on that show. That's about it.
Yeah.
Got a show with a good friend coming out called Blue Gatorade.
Blue Gatorade.
Follow me.
Sam Dickey?
Yeah.
Good guy. Tall guy. Good at basketball.
Good at basketball. Good jawline.
Good jaw. Actually,
Good,
not really.
Follow me on
Handsome guy, though.
Instagram at MORKATA. Fuck.
Underscore BIRU, I think.
Actually, don't.
I'll put your Instagram in the
No,
in
blur
description
that
anyway.
out. I forgot you guys are foot freaks. You guys can't see these.
Yeah, foot freaks. Hey, you know what's sad is I want to be like, if you're not a foot freak, comment below. But I'm not gonna get any comments.
Yeah. No.
Isn't that sad? Isn't it sad that I do this every single week and like the only people listening are just foot freaks?
Yeah.
And my best friends.
It's fine, dude.
Literally all of my
There's
best
gotta
friends
be a
are
good
such
portion.
loyal
There's
listeners.
got to be a good portion that aren't foot freaks.
Wait, really quick. Well, I have gotten some DMs from fans who have, and I'm always like, "Are you a foot freak?" And they're like, "What? No."
Okay, that's cool.
But that's cool. But
yeah.
really quick, Kelsey watched every single episode while I was in Australia.
It's a miracle she still likes you.
I know, and she knows so much about me now. Can you imagine? Just, dude, that's like 60 hours.
Oh, I have to meet this one.
You do. All right. Well, I have to pee so bad. Good night, everybody.